Yes, it's live. We're live.
We're live.
Oh, we're official. Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Aloha, kia ora. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So, I'm Nurka, Nefertiti,
Present.
Sherry,
Hey,
Tomesa,
everybody.
Delia. Where are you guys turning in from?
I am from Springfield, Illinois.
I
In the
am from
U.S.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Nelia?
Just north of Toronto, Canada.
Okay. Nefertiti?
I'm based in Little Cambridge, Massachusetts, and we're broadcasting live from Boston.
Yes, and I'm visiting Boston, so
Great place to be, by the way. You should come over here and we all get to raise some hell. That it will be lovely.
it's a beautiful city.
I did that in Boston for about 4 years. I lived there. I did
Yeah.
that.
I was just there. I didn't raise enough, apparently.
Never too late to catch up and make it count.
I'm happy to come back.
Woo-hoo, I love that.
So I have some questions. Are you guys ready?
I
Ready.
am.
Ask
Okay.
away.
And we're going to go. Well, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
'Cause
Ready
you
and
are right.
present.
We're going to go this way.
Okay.
Okay. So, how can art grow your business?
Okay, back it up for a moment. How?
Can art grow your business?
I always have for, make it bloom, neuroscience, because it's a beautiful thing. Once you have control of your emotions and you know how your brain functions, you can really take all over the world and then some. So that's a way how to grow your business. And also, I advocate for the wow factor because the more you get to make those everlasting impressions, you get those referrals, you get bonding with people, and they come and wait for you. Sometimes I'm busy, I have a high demanding season, and people wait for me because they don't want anybody else but me. So it's a beautiful thing. But it relies on the personal touch, very personal and very lovingly fun, and just extend that New England hospitality, that it's warm, genuine, real, and make people feel like royalty. That's what I like. I have a regal name and I extend that to everybody in my environment. I treat everybody like royalty and it pays off big time. So I endorse it to the next person.
Sherry, how can art grow your business?
I think that it's actually something that people don't necessarily draw a straight line to, Nerica. But I think it's really important because art really taps that creative center of your brain, as she was saying, and it actually causes you to think in a little bit different way and with a different part of your brain. And I think it's really important to utilize that creative part of your brain in your business, because I actually think that if you don't put the creative and that art side into your business, I actually think you'll get bored. And I think people will get bored with you. So I'm just going to tell you whether it's in your marketing, whether it's in your storytelling, because I think that all is related to the art of your business. Just don't ever let yourself get too far from tapping that creative side so that you stay fresh for your potential customers and for yourself, because art is fun. I mean, that's how I look at it. But
How about you, Tomesa?
Oh my goodness, you guys know my life's motto is if it's not fun, I'm done. And that includes anything that's like touchy-feely, play with, and that's colors and crayons and paints and stuff, because I love design. And I had a design business years ago. So about maybe 25 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, I thought I coined the phrase wow factor, but evidently it's out there and a lot of people use it. But to me, I could never leave a home that I was designing, whether it's a room, the whole home, or whatever, unless I walked out the door, opened the door back up, and it spoke wow. And once it did that, I could leave and then know that the homeowners would come in and get the same effect. So I have always carried that over into my real estate business and working with seniors who kind of have lost some of that wow factor because they've kind of let life and struggles get in the way, or they just got tired. I have to bring that back in. So energy and art and laughing, to me, grow any business, any industry, anywhere you are in the world, because those elements are so valuable and important to relate to your people and relate your business to your people. So it's got to be fun, and artsy fartsy stuff is what it's all about.
That's awesome.
You guys are awesome.
What about you, Nelly?
Well, for me, without art, I don't have a business because art is my business. So what I do is I help people execute a successful like passion project so that they can change the lives of other people. So they have to get in tune with, even if it's uncomfortable, they have to get in tune with what they like, who they are, what they believe in, what they want to fight for. And it's all about art. You know, it's all about like, even if those people can't like express the way that they feel, that's what I'm hoping to help them with, right? Because I think we all have gifts, and I don't know, without art, I don't have a business. Like that is what I do. And it's all about expressing feelings, because I know what it's like to hide your feelings and not feel safe enough to talk about your feelings. So yeah, art is the business. It's how I grow the business. It's everything to me, honestly. It brings kindness, it brings hope to people. So I'm all about it. Yeah.
I love it. And I think art, it brings that creativity that is so important as a business to have. Once we stop using a creativity, that's when we get stale and stop growing, right?
Yeah.
That's what separates us from the business that go out of business.
Hmm.
Well
Turn
said.
your pain into your passion, put everything you have into it. Because when we go through things in our life that are tough, that's when we find our creative side
Yes.
to heal us. Yeah.
Yes. And so I have another question. How do you bring art in your business?
I breathe and exhale art. So wherever I go, it comes with me. There's no way that I can detach one from the other. And what does for me keeps my mental sanity, brings me life, lights me up, allows me to deliver smiles and connect with other people. It feeds within itself. So art inspire more art. And I call it my positive addiction because you can never get enough. You keep at it. You just want an extra dose, let's overdose in art. And it have been the best part of my life because whether I am grieving, celebrating accomplishments, I am delivering smiles, I need time to reset, it's my holy grail. It's just a magic potion for me. Art, and then that gets funneled into Ikebana, mixed media art and performance. So it's a lifestyle. There's no other way how to present it. It's a lifestyle. It's no possible for me to detach it from my life force. I don't know how some people take it like isolated entity. For me, that's impossible. So art, it's me, myself, and I all combined together.
Okay. What about you, Sherry? What art does for you? And I probably should change the picture. The photo.
It's interesting because I've always been into art, even as a kid, and that came from my mother and my grandmother. her mother, were always artistic. They were always the ones that, same like with me, people were like, how did you draw that? I'm like, I don't know, I just do it. And as it pertains to the business, it's sort of interesting because with a lot of what I do, and especially what I'm really currently teaching people with upgrading their self-love language, you don't you probably don't think about it, but art is something that is very subjective, right? It's different for each person, but it's also something that is a very self-critical, I don't know what I want to say, a self-critical point for a lot of people, because since art is subjective and we are quote unquote forced to go to art class, and some people feel like they suck at art and other people they think are good, that they it's one of the places where we learn to degrade our self-love language based on our performance, based on looking what somebody else is doing, right, for outside validation. And so therefore it's actually one of the things that art really means to me is sort of learning to love whatever it is you create, because you created it and you wouldn't do it the way I did it. So it all really kind of runs together for me in the self love lane. I love to create, and it gets my juices flowing for me personally. But I find that where it sort of comes into my business is sort of helping people to accept whatever they create as their own masterpiece and being happy with whatever they've created because they did it. Right. So I think that's where the sort of the intersection is for me. I just love to create, and I actually don't give a hoot if anyone thinks it's good or not. So I enjoy the process, right? Like if somebody says it's, good, or oh, they like it, that's great. If they don't like it, I also don't care.
Literally. What about you, Tomasa?
I love that, Sherry. Art's a scary word to people. And when you started putting this business and art infusion summit together, I was fascinated by the fact that anybody that's in business is performing, producing, creating something artistic, because you may not think that art is part of what you're doing, but it's everything about what you've come up with an idea, you've come up with a thought, then you got to put all the marketing pieces and the stuff together, and so that is very artistic. And I don't think people think of it in the way art is kind of generally spoken, because they're doing a business, but it's all creative from the beginning thought process of that, whatever the business it is. It's artistically creating something out of maybe nothing. But I always feel like art is the quality of expression. And so what is your business? What is your industry? You're expressing something and you want it, it has a quality. So like Sherry says, somebody likes it or doesn't like it, doesn't matter. It's what you are expressing and how it works in your mannerisms, in your way you attract your clients or way you collaborate with others. Art doesn't have to just be drawing and sculpture and that kind of thing. It's just expression. And the quality art, I think I used this in my talk, the root word for art is artem, which is the quality of expression of what is beautiful and has great significance. So whatever your business is, it can be of great significance to you. You could be a welder, you could be, rotate tires, whatever, but it's all in every industry, and every element has art. And so I think people just need to kind of throw away the fact that I'm not artistic. You are. We all have some aspect of us that otherwise we'd just be boring people, and we're not boring. And not everyone feels that they have artistic ability, but they do. So embrace it and just get out there and have fun with it.
Because if it's not fun, you are done.
I
I
was just
am
going to say the same thing because if it ain't fun, we're all done.
I love that.
On that note, I have to say that my chant is I take fun seriously.
You take fun seriously. Okay. Well,
It's a serious business.
it
And if
is
it's
a serious
fun,
business. It is you have to seriously have fun to be fun.
yeah.
And so you're right, it's serious. But then you can just laugh and laugh and laugh and wow, do you feel good?
Oh yes.
Okay, that's amazing. What about you, Nelia? What art does for you?
You know, it's funny because I'm listening to you ladies talk and I agree with everything that you're saying. Like art is so fun. For me, in addition to being fun, it saves me from my mental health every day. Like art like is such a small word. It means so much. Like it's three letters, you know. And honestly, the healing that it gives me and the healing I'm able to help others with, and it just helps you celebrate your individuality. And there's just so many things. Like I like what Sherry was saying too before about if people don't like your art, who cares? You know, if people don't like us, who cares? Like I know it sounds bad to say, but until you're comfortable in your own skin, when you can say that, that's when I really feel like you can be free,
Hmm.
you know. So much of my life was spent trying to please other people and living the way that other people wanted me to live, which was kind of like the years were just passing me by and I don't really remember much from it, you know. But it's not until you, like you guys were saying, express yourself, and it's just telling the world it's okay. I'm okay with you not thinking I'm okay, and that's what's powerful, you know. So for me, I don't know. And like Tamisa said, even if you have a business that has nothing to do with art, there are creative things in that business, you know. When I was saying earlier, even if you're, you know, if you're an entrepreneur and you have, let's say you've got a 12-person team, I think it's important to find something. Like if you want to raise productivity and all of that in your company, and let's say it's like a financial business. So there's not, you know, what's creative and financial, right? But there is, you know, there's ways to make things more fun or more meaningful. To me, it's all about finding meaning, you know, and that's what I find in my art. It, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if you have a team and maybe, you know, people are stagnant, ideas are stagnant, come up with something fun. Come up with like a group activity that you can work together. Figure out what, you know, work towards one common thing. And you're going to see people are going to become more creative. They're going to speak up more. Maybe they'll become more confident. And that can all come from like a three-letter word, you know? Like it's honestly, I don't think there are, for me, I sometimes I have a hard time picking and choosing the right words to describe something, and I think it's because there isn't a word that's been created for me in the English language that really describes what it means to me. You know, like I can try, but it's just feelings are hard to put into words. And I guess at the end of the day, it's, I don't know, it allows me to just live more authentically and live a life where I'm happy, you know, and I'm satisfied. So many people are unhappy and satisfied, you know, and if you find yourself in that situation, I encourage you to take the time, no matter how busy you are. The busier you are, the more important you need to take the time and spend that 15 minutes with yourself and l- do something new. You know, you've never colored or you've never sculpted or you never picked up the guitar. Just try it. You might hate it, but you tried it. And just the fact of you trying something new is opening up yourself and changing the way you feel about yourself in that moment, right? Even if you suck at it, it doesn't matter. We're not here to judge. That's the whole point, right?
Well, to that, I'm going to chime in and say that the more you try things, the more you find yourself.
Yes.
Because if you don't have that one on one experience, how are you going to figure it out that's for you? And I joke about it, but in all seriousness, over the years, I have found talents that I was not even aware that I had just because somebody say, hey, what about this project? Or would you like to get your hands into this particular industry? And I have a reputation. I never say no to an invitation. I never decline invitation. So even if it's a little bit off the wall and I don't feel quite comfortable, I always say yes because I have the faith that something is going to come out of that. Even if it's like, okay, I had experience, I added to my journal and I'm not going to do it again. You got that experience and you have something to talk about and maybe give an advice to somebody in your environment. So it's all valid. Back to you, Nick.
I love
Amen to
that.
that.
Yes, all valid. I love that.
Just do it.
Just do it like Nike.
That's right.
I think for me, art is about creativity. It's about allowing allowing room for it in my life. Sometimes we become so structured coming from the military, whoosh, so many rules, right? And allowing the creativity to kind of make those rules go away for a little bit, uh, it does something to you, right? It allows your soul to grow. Whatever form of art you try, it can be different. I like to try differences all the time, because it's a discovery process. Is You become an explorer, and why not? You know, there's no gold medals. Let's use
Why no? We
create.
can give you an award.
Yeah, we can create one, but you know, it's not about that. It's not about other people's opinions, because I think sometimes when we allow other people's opinions come into play, it diminishes what we're trying to do. And that's why we have to be very careful how we express our opinions of other people's art and creativity, because it can extinguish so much talent.
Mhm.
I had somebody tell to my child that he didn't know how to draw, and he
Was
had
just going to give an example of that, of my son who's an attorney, who person will remain nameless, but his sixth grade teacher just said, "You're just not good. You're just not very good at art." And I'm like, it was everything I could do not to go choke that woman. Now, first off, because the thing is, it didn't matter whether she thought he was good at whatever project they were doing or not. He carried that with him always, that he'll tell you to this day he's not good at it. And I'm like, why do you accept that? Create whatever you want. That's the thing about art, is it isn't your decision about whether someone else is good at that. It's the process that you go through for yourself and how you feel about it, whether it's something that you wrote, whether it's a poem, whether it's a picture you drew. That's really, to me, one of the things. I didn't say this, but really art is a very individual experience and a process, that it's really doesn't need someone else's assessment, just your own.
Amen.
And did you enjoy it?
Amen.
Yeah, and art's not in a vase or a channel, and most people think of art as drawing or painting and sculpture and that kind of thing. And it's so much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. And I think, Nurka, I got to say kudos to you for putting this together and making it a global thought process and for people to listen to in the future, that creativity or art infusion in your business, it's just there because you are a business person. Art really, as the structured understanding that people are stuck in, the box people are stuck in, is so much broader. So thank you for letting people go, wow, whatever I do, I am artistic. It's an expression. So yeah, it's pretty interesting what you pulled together and made me think of, and I'm sure so many others. So thank you for that.
I appreciate it. I really want people to take it to heart and they say, I'm a creator, I'm an artist, and we're proud. We're so fond of wearing labels. Why are not we wearing the labels that really matter?
Mm-hmm.
I
And you
love
know
that.
what? Ultimately, you are an artist because you are the creator of your own life. You're the creator of whatever happens to you while you're in your earthly body. you are the ultimate artist.
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, you can decide how it looks on the outside. You can make it really physically fit. You can do anything you want. Like, you are an artist every day with your person,
Mhm.
you know, your
Absolutely.
hair, your whatever you're doing. You get to create every single day. And I think that we divorce ourselves sometimes from that piece, like especially in business, like, you know, we want to separate this over here and this over here. And really, to be most successful, I would say you have to be married and in bed together, so to speak. If you want to be really, really exceptional in business, you have to, you know, own that artistic side of you and that creator side.
Mhm.
But even if you don't own a business, life is art. Because how
Absolutely.
can you get to your home or any environment that you are going to spend time in it and don't have any color, flavor, or art associated to it? It's not good for your brain. You are just
Mhm.
destroying those neurons. They are not going to be productive, they are not going to be sparking. It's just a total waste of breath of life. And
Mhm.
one of the things that I take upon myself is to bring that different approach. Your environment, be artistic about it, even if you don't feel to be the art creator, even if it's just something simple to bring a small floral arrangement into your space, because it's going to enhance your quality of life. So,
Mhm.
regardless of being a business owner or not, every environment that you are in contact with, it's a fine art to keep it going and to bring out the best in you and make it to be fostering of productivity.
Mhm.
So, all the time I'm
Just
that.
just cooking and baking is artistic, and it can be, you know, just a slap of a piece of toast and butter, or you can slap a few little things on it and make it pretty. Or for your kids, when you make little pancakes and pieces, that's all creative. That's art. That's living. Art is just living. It's just living, really.
Yeah, even travel, I consider travel. You know, all the different things and different ways that people, um, just the different ways people experience different countries and different, you know, ethnic backgrounds and everything. I just feel like as human beings, like, you know, sometimes I think of, you know, therapists and art therapists and, you know, I have a friend who's an art therapist, and she's like, if you ever want to get somebody to stop judging other people, get them to get into their art, even if you're not an artist. Because as soon as you start to have that separation of judging your own art and how good it feels, you stop judging other people. Like, there's so many things that are connected, even outside of art. You know, if you can learn to let go and learn to appreciate in your art, you can do that as a person outside of art. That's just how I feel. Like, I feel it's just like can be a gateway to so many things in the way we live our lives every day, and what, you know, just being more accepting people in general.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think art can do for you that. Travel, I think that the magic part of travel and considering travel as a form of art is that take you away from your environment, take you away from your circle, and you cannot try on a new hat, right? Because maybe they have a different custom or a different way to dress and a different
Put on
food.
new glasses, right?
Exactly. And you have the freedom because you're away from everybody else that know you, and you
Ramona.
have the freedom to be yourself.
Yes.
You don't have that 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 um that fear that you're going to be judged. And I don't have no glasses. uh,
Here, borrow mine.
Let me borrow. I love yours. But and we need to remember that feeling, and we need to kind of wear that hat every single day. Forget forget that fear. Let it
Mhm.
go because it doesn't serve you well.
Right.
Simple.
You can live by faith or fear. It's more fun to live by faith.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need to smile. We need to
with a
create.
side of art.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the side of art. Yeah.
Yes, better.
And the travel part too helps us to like adapt, right? We don't know what we're going to encounter. We don't know what flavors we're going to eat in a new country. We don't, I don't know. It can, even just the photography that you take when you go to a new, it's the new, like you guys have the glasses, it's just the new take on seeing things in a different way. And we all, like all of us see things differently, but it doesn't mean we don't have similar emotions when we're doing our art, right?
Yeah.
We're all so different, and that's what's beautiful. Who wants to be the same? Life would be so boring. It'd
Yep.
be like in Groundhog Day every day. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well,
Well, I felt that way on 2020, 2021, because every day that I woke up, it was like pretty much the same gloom and doom and virus apocalypse. So uh, I
Hmm.
know the feeling about the
See,
Groundhog Day.
and I felt completely different. See, two different people, right? Two different situations,
Correct.
but we each have our own experiences. Like for me, it allowed me more like introspect to what is this life, what is happening in the world, what is this life really mean. It had me question a lot of things. It had me start a lot of new projects. A lot of people were home during COVID. I was busier than ever. I also I have a full-time business, but I also have a full-time job, so I work all the time. And I work in the medical field, and I had to be there every day. But at night, what kept me sane was the art, whether it was playing the piano or writing a song or, dancing or whatever it was. To me, I needed to have that at that time. So I actually created more art during COVID than I did before. But we all have our own experience, right? There's no right or wrong answer. It's just celebrate who you are and what you need in that time.
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I will say Easter of 2020 is when I bought these glasses because I decided if I was going to sit on my patio in my four walls by myself, I was going to see life differently. And so I bought these glasses, and I bought about 8 different hats. And so I would just sit on my patio eating ice cream and put on my glasses and put a different hat on and just evaluate life differently. And so that's, this is what came out of pandemic for me. And I see things so differently.
What
I
a
love
great
it.
way, though,
Love it.
to be able to challenge yourself to think differently. To me, so I mean, I know you're poking fun, but like really forcing
We're
yourself
serious.
to not get stuck, right, and just stay in the same old, same old. I mean, like that's like a golden nugget right there. You know what? Go buy yourself some silly glasses and a funky hat and or four and do that so that and go walk in a public place, even better. You know what,
Right,
have people have some perception of you and not care.
right, right, right. It's fun to watch people watch you, actually.
True.
You never know what you encounter. Sometimes people feel compelled to come to you and spark a conversation
Yes.
like, hey, you're rocking your style, or I like your glasses, I like your dress. I have a dinosaur print dress, and every time that I wear it, it's the conversation of the entire town.
Yeah.
So I like to come up with a novelty here and there. And it feels good, you get a little bit of attention, you're rocking your style, you are not wearing the same thing like everybody else feels like in uniform. I find it so boring. I can't
Right.
even.
And there's something, even when you don't think that you can allow art in your life, maybe because of your work, it has a lot of structures, even the military. You know, talking about food, I that was one of my jobs in the military. My first job was a cook, and guess what? I was in charge of the salads, and I love it.
Salad.
I love it. You know why? Because I would do my job, I would do the salads, and then I would have spend almost the whole day creating garnish. Have you ever done garnish out of food? It's a
Mm.
beautiful art,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a little touch, and you can be so creative. whew, I was in charge of decorations for Christmas.
Wow.
It's doing
You
fun.
just gave me a great idea. I think I want to do that tomorrow.
Let's do it. I want
Yeah.
to post the pictures.
Yes, I think I might do that. I've never done that before. Like just carve things out of food. I would love to try that for sure.
It's amazing. And
Yeah.
it's so simple. It's something that we eat every day. You
Hmm.
know, so there's always room for creativity.
Well, not only, okay, I'm going to add more to the conversation. Not only the garnishing for the salads, but challenge yourself to do arrangement with fruit and vegetables. Because actually, that is part of the curriculum on my teaching degree in Ikebana. You have to make arrangements with all these different kind of concepts. So I recently did one with roots and vegetables. So while you are in the kitchen, just picture how can you make an arrangement to decorate your table with fresh fruit and vegetables.
Hmm.
And add, a twig, a branch or something. Take pictures and put it on the group. It's going to be fun.
You know, and how fun it is. You had little kids at home. And, I don't know about you, but I had two little kids at home before they grow up, and they were terrible about eating. But if you present the food a little bit different to them and make it a little bit fun, just put a couple of eyes and smile, they will eat it up. And it only take 2 extra minutes. Is that
See, if it's not fun, they're done too.
That's right. I love that.
so? Yeah, this has been so much fun.
Do we have any
Yeah.
questions for Nirka today? Let's put her on the hot seat a little bit.
Nirka, why and how did you come up with this virtual summit? What created that? What caused you to create this?
Well, I've been thinking about it for about 2 years, right? I had the brainstorming of what I wanted to do. And of course, it was bigger. I had a lot more. It was extravaganza. And it still is. It's still extravaganza. Um, but I always wanted to bring business and art together because I think they work so well together, and people think they're work apart, but it's not. They're not divorced for each other. And you have the art community that think business is a ugly word. They're like, we don't want to do business. We just want to create and do art. And then you got the business world that think, oh, yeah, I don't want to be artistic. I want to be in business. I want to be make money. But when you bring them together, you infuse it together. The
Beautiful.
most successful business, that's what they're doing. They just don't call it that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody's been doing it all along. That's why it's so fascinating to me that you brought this up. It made me stop and think, wow, we all do that. No matter if you're in business or not, we're all doing that on a daily basis, regular basis. But when you stop and think about it, it's pretty challenging to make yourself think a little differently. And I love it. So kudos. I still say kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah. We need to take the power. We need to take the power and creativity and just bring it to our world.
So, Nirka, I have a question for you as well.
Okay.
I would actually like to ask you at this point in the summit, what's the thing that's been the most surprising to you, or thing that has happened or occurred that you didn't anticipate?
So many.
No sleep for one.
So many. But one thing that I anticipated, I kind of had the idea, of course, being me, I just reach out to a couple of people. I say, well, maybe 2 or 3 will say yes. Everybody say yes, almost everybody. I think only a couple say no, or they didn't hear about it until it was too late. And that really spoke to me volumes. It spoke how much is needed. When you can bring so many people together, almost I don't know what the count right now. I think about 31 or 34 speakers.
That's
I think it's in
incredible.
town. used to come and talk about business and art, and so many more people come to listen, and they're watching the replay and they're sharing and they're tagging other people, and this is just the beginning.
Connection's
I
huge.
got goosebumps.
This is just the beginning,
Mhm.
So I think it's something, we all need to create. Right now, actually, right now, there's so much destruction in the world. There's so much ugliness. And one thing that we do when we create, we bring beauty and life, and we give hope to everybody that's around us. And we need that.
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely.
So
That's beautiful. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for being here.
You're so welcome.
And if you know any more words, we come back tomorrow.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Yay, we're going to do it again.
Thanks so much, ladies. I loved hearing all of your different, takes on what art means to you. And it's so great to learn from everybody, and listen to all the speakers and just share openly and just, whether we agree or disagree or we see things differently, we're all here and we're all just peacefully having a conversation. There's no hate, there's no judgment, there's no that's what I want art to be all about. So I appreciate you ladies coming on and sharing this time with me too.
Yeah,
Thank
it's been
you.
awesome.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
We should make it a recurrent affair and make some noise.
Yes.
Let's make some noise. And we all got to bring those glasses, Tomasa.
And Sherry, you can sing.
I'm going to bring a different
I
set
will lip sync.
I love it.
Everyone's safety.
You can't say we're boring. Like artists and creative, we're not boring.
Everybody
You guys
watching is
have
like,
a
I want to be with them.
Yeah, you want to be the life of the party. So everybody's drawn to you for sure.
Let's have the cake and eat it too.
Say
And we're
that
not
again?
all foo-foos. People think artists are all foo-foo and this and that. We're brilliant. We're people who want to change the world. We're good people. We're
fun.
just, yeah. Nothing negative. Keep the negativity away.
That's right. I think we ought to end in chorus of Tamisa's line.
Yes.
If it's
You want
not
to sing it?
If it's not fun,
we are done.
Done.
Fun.
Don't forget to bring the wolf archer.
Bye, everyone.
bye, everybody.
Bye, ladies. Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
For tomorrow.